From the center of the Americas to you, wherever you are, this is the end of days. Hello, exiles. Welcome home. Sticking with our great reset theme, last we spoke about Julian Assange and how his copping to espionage, the Espionage Act that is, may be a precursor, a sort of template for prosecuting Americans who speak up against conscription, also known as the draft. The air is heavy with the stench of jackbooted thugs on the march. Should you speak up and offer an opinion contrary to the prevailing narrative, you will find that inadvertently or not, you made yourself a target. Make no mistake, when they come for you, it will not be to malign your character. When they come, it will be to take you away. And if you resist the target, you will be eliminated. This is finally what fascism looks like. This is the Great Reset. The USI operated Native American, i.e. Indian, concentration camps in the 1830s for decades. They became the reservations. As if that weren't just some one-off, and it wasn't, I'm called to remember the stories my ex's mother would tell. That of having been in a concentration camp at the time known as internment camps in California in the 1940s. But the USA did not limit itself to interning American citizens at home. On the Japanese theme, they did it the same in Okinawa, having burnt many people's homes down to make way for military bases. Some 300,000 were forced into concentration camps there. In the other theater of war, they starved about 1 million Germans to death in prison camps. I guess you could call that punitive retribution. If you think they got all the yayas out of their system after the Second World War, you'd be wrong. In 1961, which must have been at the very beginning of the Vietnam conflict, the USI forced 8 million Southeast Vietnamese into prison camps in order to keep the Viet Cong from garnering any potential support there. Since then, the government has been slowly, systematically preconditioning the populace by rounding up protesters, throwing them into makeshift jails. Doing this in order to normalize Gestapo tactics, normalize the very idea of neighbors being rounded up and incarcerated. Let's not forget about the Patriot Act, perhaps the full reason for the false flag operation known as 9/11. This, for the first time, potentialized American citizens to become enemies of the state. Today, even, the president has the power to declare martial law for any damn reason whatever. Every communist government puts in place measures to ensure the populace, a stupid group of people if there ever was, let's face it, is willing to turn on their neighbors, report them for activities against the rules of the state. We saw some of this with the COVID, where people reported on neighbors for having a gathering too large or some sundry other infraction. If you experienced any of that, then you know that a great many of people, they go rabid when their bread and circuses are curtailed. They will do anything to ensure that the chump change keeps coming. This is the quality of their moral fiber. This is the tenor of their soul. These, the self-same who have said, "I'd never." You know the type. If you do not hang together, you will surely hang separately. It happened while we were sleeping. It is reported that there are built 1,000 FEMA camps across the USI. Why? There's only one possible reason. You don't build something you're not planning to utilize. They will tell you, of course, these are emergency camps. For what type of emergency is anyone's guess, but that is not really the pertinent question. The more salient one is for whom. I think, not being completely deficient, that we can know which type of people will end up there. Those contesting the government, those who may be considered patriots, i.e. the conservatives, empiricists, and those who identify as Christian. You see, the last of these is in many regards the greatest threat to them. If you still don't know why Christians are the greatest threat to the cabal, the deep state, those who would rule the world, the answer is simple. If you want to know thyself, one must know thy enemy. Your enemy defines himself, so you needn't run out and procure labels with which to affix him. You see, whether you believe in God or not is utterly irrelevant. Many people have been preoccupied by the question of the Creator. Spoiler alert, there is one. How do I know? Because my enemy is assuredly convinced of such. Those who are in secret society, those who have access to occult knowledge, look upon the atheist with disdain. You have to be so ignorant, which is to say so damn dumb, to be an atheist that you are not worthy of consideration. You have done none of the work to facilitate so much as a basic understanding of life and the nature of this universe. Everything in this world is screaming out at you, throwing upon you the truth of itself. It takes a real effort to stay blind to that which is so obvious. Yet many manage to stay blind. What great effrontery can be had when one speaketh a lie? For a lie is inconvenient, and whatever its character, whatever it lays at the feet of the besmirched, in time a lie obviates itself. A lie may be ugly, but a lie causes no great affront to the confident man. Only the truth can bring him to his knees. The greatest assault mounted against the Satanists is the name of Jesus Christ. The power of his name is overwhelming precisely because he is the Lord of Lords, and they know it. If you doubt the Father because you cannot see him, look at them, for they tremble. First, they seek your ignorance. They want you to acknowledge nothing, no God. Now you are a step removed from your true nature, which is your unity with Spirit, with God, with Christ consciousness. Ultimately, they will try to force you to take the mark and acknowledge Lucifer as God. Those who truly walk with Jesus Christ are immune to this, and for this reason, they must, insofar as they can, annihilate Christians. There is one protection only. It is all you need. So maybe you weren't expecting all this kind of talk, I understand. As all roads lead to Rome, so too does all of this lead back to the Creator. If you believe in evolution, I'm sorry, you've been retarded. It's now essentially proven, despite some of the jury remaining on hiatus, that we're living in a matrix. If you accept that, if you think that, then by definition you accept a Creator. You believe in God. Got it? It is a small step from accepting you're a creation to accepting that Jesus lived and that Jesus redeemed you. Why should it be different to imagine that in this game, when the game got off track, that the Creator leveled up, that he said, hey, fuck faces, you're going to wreck this whole fucking thing. In my infinite love and compassion, I am going to give you something that will save you from yourselves. Instead of being a failed experiment, I will allow you, the only way I know how, to heal. They want to drag you down. They want to kill you. But what they really want is your soul. All those people in Hollywood, all those famous rich millionaires, what have they gained but a moment of comfort in exchange for something far more precious? And they will tell you they've won the game. They will tell you when you die, it won't have mattered how you lived so long as you lived well. But I know the truth, and so do you. It is better to die on the street than in a concentration camp. Choose wisely, and vaya con Dios. Where do we go from here? So much to talk about. God helps those who help themselves. So whatever you do, work at it with all your heart. Be mindful, be helpful unto others, for there is salvation, and that salvation may be your own, and you not even know it. CB wanted me to mention, thanks for listening. If If you like this content, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps.
Adios and thanks for all the fish.